Welcome, everybody. This is Ron here with Tanner Haas, and I'll have him introduce himself in a minute. Thanks for joining an interview here. I think you're going to find it very, very interesting and intriguing here at the Patriot Power Podcast. Tanner Haas is the founder and CEO of FreedomChat. And if you have been listening to my podcast or visited my website, you know that we switched everything over to FreedomChat for a variety of reasons, but we're going to hear from the guy who built it and who's in charge of it. And I think that'll give you a little more insight on why I wanted to chat with him, because I think everybody should go over to FreedomChat like right now. So Tanner, welcome, and just let everybody know a little bit of history about yourself, and then we'll dive right in.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me on, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm a four-time founder. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Started my first company when I was 18, sold my first company when I was 21. FreedomChat is definitely the most exciting, the most difficult, the most important. So I'm super proud of the work our team has done to date, but we're just getting started. And as you mentioned, I mean, it's needed. It is needed now more than ever before. And I'm really proud of the fight that we're fighting.
Yeah. Well, I think many people watching and listening might agree. Telegram was huge. I got on that, of course. I immediately jumped on, and it was the best thing and secure and all that, until I started receiving invites from who knows what country, and ads, and not ads from them, but just spam, and I deleted it. And of course, people think Signal, and we know how that panned out for our security agencies. But what makes your platform, FreedomChat, what makes it stand out or differ than what else is currently out there?
So we can address it head on. So let's do Telegram first. So FreedomChat truly was built from the ground up to address these pitfalls of these other companies. And Telegram, I mean, it looks great. They've virtually had unlimited money to build it. So it's animated, it's fun, it's playful, great. But for them to categorize themselves as a private messenger, it's more akin to a social media app than a private messenger. So on Telegram versus FreedomChat, every message on FreedomChat is end-to-end encrypted and can only be read by the intended recipient. Under no circumstances can someone else other than the intended recipient see a message. So on Telegram, every message is not end-to-end encrypted by default. You have to jump through a hoop to enable a secret chat. So that means if you're sending something on Telegram and you did not enable secret chat, that means they themselves, as the service operator, can see what you're saying. So let's call it the pillar number one, the encryption. Number two is FreedomChat does not store any messages on our servers. Once a message is successfully delivered, so if I message you, Ron, as soon as it's successfully delivered, it's removed from our servers, and it's only kept on your device and my device. You can edit, unsend, self-destruct anything at any moment in time, even after a message has been unsent from our server. On Telegram, everything is stored on their servers, often indefinitely. They're based in the Middle East with little to no oversight. And the third pillar, which I think is for some reason the most often looked, is does the company you're using, does the company you're trusting have commercial use of user data? Telegram has an immense amount of user data, and they have a commercial use of user data. So to me, you cannot say you're a private messenger when you harvest, sell user data, which Telegram does. So right out of the gate, I'd say, no, Telegram is more akin to a social media app than a private messenger. The other thing, which you touched on, is they have a spam problem.
Yeah.
And it impacts the user experience, but it also is great when Telegram can say they have X amount of users. They don't have to disclose how many of those are bots, how many of those are real users. FreedomChat probably loses quite a bit of users because we have very heavy anti-spam protection. So that means that sometimes real users might not get a verification code because we want to ensure that everybody that does download the app is a real user, not a bot. So there's sometimes a user has emailed us and that, hey, I didn't get a verification code. Or are you on a VPN? Are you in and out of Wi-Fi? Like certain questions that on our system categorize as spam, and we can easily fix that. But we take the opposite approach, where we want to put users' privacy first, user experience first. So we have heavy anti-spam. So right off the bat, we ensure that only real verified users are on FreedomChat. Telegram has a tremendous spam problem. So that's Telegram versus FreedomChat in a nutshell. The biggest one, and this is where we can tie in Signal, WhatsApp, any of these, is we do not support linked devices. And that is the most secure thing on the planet. And what that means is if you try to log in with your phone number, with your PIN on another device, and oftentimes it might not be you. Like this is the New York Post and the Washington Examiner have reported this as a security vulnerability in Signal and Telegram and other apps, where I can take your phone number, I can take your PIN, I can redirect your SMS, I can intercept it, and I can log into your account. So I'm in your account, but on FreedomChat, we don't support linked devices. So if you gave me your PIN, you gave me your phone number, you give me your SMS message, I will log into your account. You would be logged out. Every one of your contacts would be alerted that your ID has changed, meaning it's coming from another device. And the best part is none of your conversations would transfer over. So it guarantees that under no circumstance can anyone other than the intended recipient on the device it was intended for, can they decrypt a message. So it really guarantees users' privacy, freedom, and it might not be the most convenient thing. Some people like linked devices. You want to sync it, but the most private way to communicate is if you do not support linked devices, which FreedomChat does not.
Well, that's good because, our founding fathers and the patriots that, were fighting to build this country, they relied on, handwritten letters and couriers and codes and even invisible ink to protect that sensitive information. And like you said before, it seems like everything, whether it be a social media platform or an app, how do they make money? Well, they make money by selling your information. And people are like, well, I don't care. I'm not doing anything wrong. Well, you should care because it's your information. And who knows with AI what somebody could they could be nefarious with it. So it's really nice to see. And I scoured because I'm not, honestly, I can't remember exactly how I even found you guys. But once I did, I fine tooth comb. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to give this a shot. And then I loved it so much. I use it for, I got rid of the Google phone numbers that listeners could call and text in. Now they can just join, the FreedomChat channel, which I think has almost 300 people already. It's awesome. And with the ability that they can actually engage and respond, it's the best. It's the best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned. So
it's a private form of social media. So like your audience can go reply to you. And if you were to do that on X, Facebook, Instagram, okay, they're not private if they respond to you because everything they say is used against them. I mean, they have a public profile for FreedomChat. They can create a username. Doesn't have to be their real name. Choose any username you want. They can reply to you. And there's no commercial use of user data. It's just a unique way for them to engage with the creator they want. No one can see the channels they're subscribed to or the posts that they react to. So if you're tired of all of this extracurricular nonsense on other social medias and you want to follow the people that you want, you can do so on FreedomChat channels. They can engage with you. It really is not just a private messaging app, but we created a new private, perfectly curated form of social media as well. That's
awesome. So I've had many companies, serial entrepreneur as well. So we're kind of kindred spirits there. So you come up with this idea, you probably start toying with it. What do you remember with the moment that you realized, you know what, we need this, but this is going to be better and safer and more aligned with, well, personal liberty. Do you remember that?
Mhm. I mean, I'm young, but I'm an old soul. I love reading about the founding fathers. I love the old American spirit, and I do say old because in many ways it's been lost.
Yeah.
Where people were willing to die for their country, they were willing to abandon everything at the hopes of. I mean, there's no one in their right mind that could have imagined that the America nearly 250 years ago today would be the America. Like, it's just unfounded what we were able to do in 250 years to this little colony, this the spec to the overarching world power is just incredible. So to me, I was shocked that the Freedom Chat name was available. It deeply resonates with who I am. It deeply resonates with, I think, the people that care the most about their privacy and lack of free speech would be the conservative, freedom-oriented, independent, American-loving individuals. But what really fascinated me was it's not just Americans. I mean, Freedom Chat for the last 100 days, which we are looking for investors. So this is just a fun fact for anybody that's interested. We are literally growing 200% month over month, and user growth. Users love the app. They keep opening it. They're like, it's just so satisfying to see. But what I love to see the most actually is it's being downloaded all over the world. The desire for privacy and freedom is not just an American thing. There are individuals across the globe that are downloading Freedom Chat, using Freedom Chat, requesting that we open or release it on their app store in certain countries. I mean, Jordan, Bangladesh, Taiwan, South Africa. Like, it's exciting to see, and it really is the ethos of the desire for freedom is ubiquitous. It's not just in the US. So as much as I want to say this is a domestic app, and that's why I was inspired to create it, is my love for American history, our patriotism, our fighting nature. And I don't mean fighting in a physical, but it's like whatever comes your way, we're going to just power through it. But now I've quickly realized that this is a worldwide thing. People want freedom. Things that we overlook in America is something that somebody in another country would literally die for because they don't have they haven't been given that right.
100%. And I read about it anytime I do an episode or something like that. It's times have changed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of, your app, provides secure, non-harvested communication. And I think communication as a whole has, having access to the internet and having access to all these fast things is supposed
Mm-hmm.
or was supposed to make communication better. But what it's actually done is, made kids do this all day long at school, at a restaurant, and all of that. Do you, since you control everything about it, do you see, I mean, AI, love it or hate it, it's everywhere. Amazon now, you just
Mm-hmm.
type it in everywhere. Do you anticipate AI, one, being involved at all with your app? And secondly, what is your feeling or philosophy on AI in the digital space, specifically communication?
I hate it. And let me elaborate on that. For AI will never in any way, shape, or form be embedded into Freedom Chat because there's a specific reason. When there is AI in the picture, your privacy has left the picture. Because what AI requires is more data, more information. It needs to know in order to provide. So what that means, if like these email services or the search, if it's recommending you search something, if it's recommending you type something, it's because it knows your history. Like these algorithms on other social media sites where it's like, hey, content you might be interested in. Why would I might be interested in it? Well, because it cross-referenced your age, how often you're on the app, what content you look at, what you reacted to, and it knows more about you than probably yourself. So for me, AI, in my honest, humble opinion, is 100% first off overhyped. We're in a massive bubble beyond epic proportions, but if the majority of consumers aren't gravitating towards AI, companies aren't seeing a return on investment. So I actually think, one, it's overhyped, but two, it's not good for privacy. It is the antithesis of privacy. So for most people, when you can see something that you're chatting with an AI chatbot, well, it was trained on so much data. And if it starts to understand you better, you can logically assume it understands you better because you provided it a lot of information. So
Yeah.
I personally am not a fan. I think AI has its use cases. Like it could be used to help solve various diseases, help solve complex problems. The way people are using it now to create deep fake images and videos,
Yeah.
to engage consumers more on their content. I mean, these social media platforms, I'm like, that is a great waste of a potentially great technology. So
Hmm.
I'm personally not like all that obsessed. Yeah, it can help you fix grammatical issues in your email. Great. It can help you write things quicker. Yeah, and I'm not saying I don't use AI, but I think in terms of private communication, there is no place for it.
Okay, awesome. Well, during the American Revolution and the creation of our country,
Mm-hmm.
it was founded and created by people, frankly, stepping up to the plate and risking
Mm-hmm.
everything. How can those listening and watching today take steps to protect their own digital freedom? Is it too late because people have been on Google, they've been on this, they've downloaded everything on the planet, and aside from downloading your app and getting rid of other communications, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking, I use it for my podcast, I use it for our farm, and stuff like that. I might just be
Mm-hmm.
missing the point. I mean, do you have family members that it's all only family, or how do you give it, or what advice would you give to people to protect their digital freedom, I guess?
First off, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start anything. I mean, you have a terrible credit score, you're out of shape, you've done horrible things. Like, they're never too late to start, change, improve. So for me, I am pretty serious about my digital privacy. My wife rarely uses social media. I don't have social media. We never post our son on social media. Uh, all my communications take place on FreedomChat. I mean, every single one of mine. I will not text somebody that is not on FreedomChat. And if they
Mm,
try to text me, I'll send them the FreedomChat link. They text me again, I'll send them the FreedomChat link. Sooner or later, they get it. They understand, because it's not I have something to hide. I have something to protect. And I've seen too many people. I mean, I knew people that ran for presidency before, and their life was turned upside down from
hmm.
something completely taken out of context, from something that was sent 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And it was a text message, it was an email. People think these things are secure. And like iMessage, you see privacy, that's iPhone. Google, oh, we've ended. It's nonsense. Like, if you
Yeah.
look at the actual, it, it's concerning. So if you really want to start caring about your privacy, which I do think you should, because to me, if you do not have privacy, you have nothing. And that might seem like it's exaggerated, but if you want to talk about healthcare, you don't have privacy, your health records, that's dangerous. Your financial information, your true and honest thoughts, your conversations between you and your spouse. I mean, there's some things that just are not meant to be shown to the world. So
Mm,
I use Freedom Chat. I use an end-to-end encrypted email service. I do not use Google. I am very careful what I say online. Like, people really should start caring more about it, because if you think these companies care about you, they don't in any way, shape, or form. They are using every bit of data that you give them to better serve you ads to improve their top and bottom line. And eventually it's just going to get worse and worse, where hacks are going to continue to increase at an exponential rate. It does concern me. And I think especially now, and this might be above a little bit out there, but not just AI, but there's something coming in the near future called quantum computers, which leverage the principles of quantum mechanics, fundamentally different than traditional computers. It's going to render a lot of encryption used today completely obsolete, which means conversations that people sent that they thought were actually protected on some of these other services will not be. And these past conversations are going to come out. These social security numbers are going to come out. Everything. So to me, it's like, start taking this seriously. It is one of the easiest ways to ruin your life, is if something you said that you didn't mean, somebody screenshots and was taken out of context. FreedomChat, we prevent screenshots and screen recordings. An image, a video. Like, people, why have social security numbers? Why are they being leaked left and right? Well, if you send them over Gmail, if you send them over iMessenger or Android Messenger, where somebody can intercept it, it's like, just start thinking a little bit deeper about these things, and don't think just because you're using a company that it could be a well-established, very profitable company, doesn't mean they're doing their best to protect your privacy. And if that gets out, they're not on the hook, you're on the hook. They have better attorneys than you. They can fight these. It's really like, start taking responsibility and start caring a little more about your privacy. It's in your hands, and people should take the initiative.
Awesome. I think, I don't remember seeing this on your website, but you just said a perfect tagline for a lot, because people, your quote was, I don't have anything to hide, I have something to protect. I mean, that's huge. And I think people just assume, oh, it's Amazon, oh, it's Google, oh, it's Apple. Those are good companies, and they wouldn't do anything to my information, because I read the 463,000 page document. I mean, it's crazy to me how people trust them. And I'm not saying that they're taking your information and necessarily doing anything bad, but they are tailoring everything that you say, type in, and do for a better experience. Well,
yep.
And I tried to tell people years ago, before any of this got big, I said, have your iPhone with you and talk about something 2 or 3 times, maybe 5 times a day, something that you've never talked about. And so this friend of mine said, he started talking about little pink bows for little girls' hair. And he would just talk about it, and then he'd go about his day, and then he would talk about it. He did it like 4 or 5 times. He got on Facebook, and miraculously, ads for girls' pink hair bows started appearing everywhere. Don't tell me that they're not listening, because they do, and that's how they make money. I mean, Facebook doesn't make their money on me talking to Grandpa Ed in New York. They make money by ads, and how they make ads is by curating all your information. So it's really important, and that's why I love FreedomChat. If you could, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but is there a founder, one of our founding fathers, that you relate to, or most relate to, when you think about FreedomChat, or when you were building it?
I do like almost all of the founding fathers. My favorite would probably be Benjamin Franklin. I have 2 of his books behind me, but he, not just because of his witty quotes and some of the things he's written, but he believed, and if you know about Benjamin Franklin, you've read about him, he believed in innovation, he believed in technology, privacy, the kindred human spirit. and empowering ordinary citizens. I mean, he literally was an ordinary citizen that came to do extraordinary things, everything but the presidency.
Mhm.
So, I mean, he empowered ordinary citizens to, with the tools that they have at their disposal, to help strengthen society. So he understood that technology and liberty, I mean, they go hand in hand and they must evolve together. And if one gets way too ahead of the other, like technology, and well, now we're seeing kind of liberty is being suppressed, free
Yeah.
speech, digital ID, they have to evolve in tandem. So, yep, technology, AI, quantum computing, that means more hacking, more spam. But okay, on the liberty side, what empowers liberty would be end-to-end encryption, quantum safe encryption, companies that have no commercial use of user data. So they kind of have to evolve in tandem, in my opinion. And that's the ethos of Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, for sure. And Benjamin Franklin never patented any of his inventions. I mean, people are like, well, he invented the lightning rod. I'm like, have you ever put on, swimming flippers that so you can go through the water faster? He invented those. What about bifocals? What about the Franklin stove? What about the first post office, the first insurance company? I don't know if that was a good thing. The first fire station, the first public lended library. I mean, yeah. And he never patented him because he said, if something is good to help mankind or the masses, it shouldn't be restricted. Now, probably a little easier to say because he was very, very wealthy and he sold all of his printing presses at 42. But nonetheless, I totally see, Benjamin Franklin, that correlation. That's really good. And that brings us to, he never made money on anything. And people are like, well, yeah, that was 250 years ago. Drive to New York, drive to Chicago. Do you see any lightning rods? The little handheld claw that old people use to pick up things or pull up their socks. Benjamin Franklin invented that. Why? Because he couldn't reach the top shelf of books, and he created that. And it's been unchanged. If you look at his drawings, it's been unchanged since he created it. And it's, that's when books were actually, revered and how they learned. But he never profited. So my question to you is, since there's no ads, I haven't seen any ads, and since there's no,
and you never will.
Yeah. So I know that I think there's a pro plan that you can get. How does one create an app like this and have it see 200% growth every week or every day to, we got to keep the lights on. I get it. So how does FreedomChat make money outside of investors? Tell me about the free and the pro plans I think that you offer.
So, I mean, to start, for 2 years, we've just been building the product. And what does that means? Burning money to build the product, that we weren't charging users. We wanted to give them the experience that I thought they deserved. And once we felt like we've executed on that, okay, now we can introduce our premium plan. So FreedomChat will always have a free version, because the way we leverage both new and existing technologies, we don't store messages on our servers. We can keep costs extremely low. So it's not extremely costly to run the service, to be honest. If you look at Facebook, Instagram, their margins might be utterly ridiculous, and they are, but one of their highest costs, I mean, storing messages, storing posts, all that content on servers is expensive. So FreedomChat, we're not ever going to hit their top line, and that's fine. I'd rather have my values intact than hit that. So for FreedomChat, we will always have a free version, and that means everything you send will always be end-to-end encrypted, never stored on our servers, and will never have a commercial use of user data. We do encourage and want people, obviously, to pay for FreedomChat Premium, and that will give you exclusive features like you can send 4K images and videos. You can self-destruct messages, prevent screenshots, screen recordings, prevent media from being saved, reply to a channel creator's post. So we're obviously going to push people, and we would encourage everybody to pay $5.99 a month, very modest pricing, or $52.99 a year. And there's kind of this fight. It's not fight. And I know some people go through this internal dialogue, like, why should I pay for this if messaging is free on these others? It's not free. If something's free, it's because you're the product. Your data, and let's personalize it. Not just your data. It's your phone number, your email address, your age, your location, who you talk to, when you talk to them, your location, financial information, political affiliation. Like, let's personalize it. That's what it is. So if you would rather give someone all of that than give a God-fearing, hardworking, busting our butt American company $5.99 a month or $52.99 a year, you be my guest. But that's where we're focused. And
Yeah.
our goal is to have 50 million users by 2030. And if we can get 10 million to pay just $5.99 a month, I will feel very good about where we are. The business model works. We have very low costs. We don't need to charge users that much. I want to just give people their privacy back. And I think we've executed, and the product's only going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to add more features, add voice and video calls. So this really is just the start, but I think we're in a great place.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's cheap. People are like, I can't spend $60 a year, and I'm like, yeah, that's 2 months of Netflix. And how much did you spend on coffee this week?
And they'll probably say, well, 77. Well, okay, cut back on that a little bit, and you can afford your privacy back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me wrap it up. I'll give you, obviously, anything else that you want to add about anything. But what does, and you've kind of talked about it already, so hopefully it's not duplicatory, but what does freedom mean to you in today's world?
Everything. To me, I would rather, my wife can attest to this, like, quite honestly, and this might sound extreme, I would rather die than not be able to do what I want to do each day. I love waking up, working on my companies, spending time with my wife, my son, reading, learning. Like, if you try to put me in a cubicle and this is my job, you can't give me, like, I can't read the books I want, I can't work the way I want. I do not want to be on this planet. I think people need to take it a little more seriously, that we have a fundamental God-given right that we can wake up and pursue what we want to each day. We can talk to who we want to talk to. We can do what we want, obviously within the means of the law. But right now, our personal liberties are being invaded. They will continue to do so until people push back, say, no, enough's enough. And that means no digital ID, where they want to create these online personas of us. And if you can see look what's happened in China, these social credit scores, where
for sure,
you can rip somebody's whole life out from under them because they said something that you don't agree with, meaning the political figures, the powers that be. So
and look what's happening in England. Did you hear what's going on in England? England of all places. They, not the people, but they've lost their mind. Going to digital currency, and I'm like, oh, people don't get it. And I think a lot of people, they say, well, I sit down at, thank you. I woke up with a bad sore throat. My wife just brought me, hey, look at that, George Washington.
That's a wonderful wife.
Brought me, yeah, she's my starter wife, 34 years now.
That's awesome.
But
that's how my wife and I want to be. That's something to aspire to.
Look, these stupid cameras make my gray. I'm going to say that it's a filter and it's a Christmas flock, but but people will sit with their spouse or their kids or whoever, their friends, and everybody has this. Everybody has it, and they'll set it. They'll turn it upside down like that. Like that makes it better, and they can have this intimate, serious discussion about whatever they want, as they should. And they think they're okay because they're sitting on their couch or in their living room. This is listening. I would not be surprised.
Always on.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if something that we spoke about today doesn't pop up. Yes, I have a Facebook account for people to find our farm and to find, Patriot Power Podcast. Yes, I do YouTube videos and all that. but I don't go on.
Mhm.
Facebook specifically, I don't go on. I just go on to post and I stay away from it. But people have this, I think, false sense of security when it comes to communication or just freedoms. I mean, back in the day,
Mhm.
people, founding fathers and mothers, they understood it. They got it. No, they didn't have the technology. Could they dream that we could see where the International Space Station is and send them a text? No, but they understood the fundamentals of what I say to whomever I say it should be held in confidence. And as far as I know, there's, and I can ask you, there's not another platform, app, or whatever out there where you can communicate, take email out of it, that
Mhm.
you can communicate like you can on FreedomChat, that is as secure and unstored and have that many options to delete things and whatever. Is there, I mean, you've done the research, is there anything else out there like this?
Not that I trust. I mean,
Yeah.
it like what prompted me to start Freedom Chat was I managed a lot of conservative websites, and I am in this, and it's kind of crazy that conservatism today is associated with like liberty and freedom, and that should be all of America should be associated with liberty and freedom. But I managed these websites, and they were deeply concerned about their privacy and freedom. And this was three years ago, and I remember going through these comments because as an ordinary citizen, I'm still a citizen, ordinary citizen, but at the time, you see these commercials and WhatsApp all over their website says end-to-end encryption, message privately, and you see on Apple privacy, that's iPhone, and they tout their privacy benefits, and you see all these things, and you see Signal, but when you actually go into it, and I mean very thorough, down the rabbit hole, not conspiracies, just what's the facts.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as private as you think they are.
No.
And what I mean by that is WhatsApp, for example, says they have end-to-end encryption. Okay, great. End-to-end encryption. Well, what that actually means and what it should mean is no one other than the intended recipient can decrypt a message. On WhatsApp, however, they can back up all your conversations to a hard drive, see everything you said, number one. Number two is if you report a user in WhatsApp, WhatsApp, Facebook, Meta, can see the 5 latest messages. And I'm like, okay, are we going to take them at their word where they can only see the 5 latest messages? No, that's not how end-to-end encryption works. It should not be end-to-end encryption until it's not. It's end-to-end encryption or it's not end-to-end encryption. Pick one. So
yes. Well, but they make things sound better. It's just like, you hear every president, our current one included, going way back, right? Well, not way back, but you hear it's a threat to democracy. It's a danger to democracy. And I just did a short Freedom Files on this. The United States is not a democracy.
it's a
Period.
constitutional republic.
Thank you. And people, if you say it's a threat to democracy, that feels good, it unites us, and we're going to go against whatever they're talking about. If you say it's a threat against our constitutional republic, well, then there's accountability, and then there's education and explanation, because people don't know the difference. And that's why I do this podcast and why I do little short videos, is to help educate people. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Our founders were horrified by democracies. It's never mentioned in the Constitution. It's never mentioned in the Declaration. It was mentioned a dozen times, not even a dozen, in the Federalist Papers, but only in a negative context. So at least, so that's good. So tell me, I will tell you one thing that I had a user call me. They said, I'm not going to subscribe to your channel on Freedom Chat. It's just another app that I have to download. I said, no problem. That's certainly your choice, but this is where a bulk of the information is going to go, because I'll post my videos and stuff on social media if I remember. But if you don't, they go to YouTube because that's the thing, right? But you're going to get content and things like that through Freedom Chat, and you'll miss those. It's your choice. But I think had I had this conversation with you before then, I would have said, well, I'd tell them the same thing. It's your choice. But what do you say to people like, I love what I'm hearing. It's the real deal. I can test it out for free. Then I can get the premium, but it's just another app. I mean, is that back to okay, but it's not just an app. It's an app that safely, securely, actual end-to-end encryption. I mean, is that what you would tell people? Like that, I don't want to download another app, although they have no problem downloading Candy Crush and 1,200 other games. But
yeah,
is that something
where do
that
your
you would tell
priorities
them?
lie?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's just another app. Yeah, penicillin was just another invention. Like, I mean, it's really takes you what 30 seconds to download an app, not even. It takes you 1 minute to sign into Freedom Chat, create your account. It's very simple, very seamless. We don't require any information that saying you don't have to create a username and password. You don't go through all these. You put in your phone number, you get a verification text, you choose your PIN, you're in. And so if you tell me that 30 seconds, 1 minute is not worth getting your privacy and free speech rights back, then that's your prerogative. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not gonna, it is amazing to me. People, how much is your privacy worth to you? Do you want your conversations with your spouse to remain private? Do you want to have a family group chat that's actually private? Do it on Freedom Chat. That's just, I see this as go subscribe to creators' channels on Freedom Chat. That can replace your social media. Message your friends and family on Freedom Chat. And I mean, we're trying to give people their privacy and personal liberties back. And if that takes too long out of your day to download an app I mean, you're already downloading all these other ones. So it's not just an app. It's fundamentally different than every app you've downloaded, which is usually they want more user data. We want less. It's just going to bog down we want to keep our costs low. We don't want your data. We want to give you your privacy back. Yeah,
they're just building just south out here by the state prison. Facebook is building I don't know. Don't quote me, but I'll say 400,000 square foot Facebook something or other. And there's only 60 employees. Mm-hmm. Okay, folks, large Target stores is not even 80,000 square foot. So that gives you some perspective. Why do they need that much room? Because servers take up a lot of room. Well, why do you need all those servers? Because they're keeping track of your posts, your messages, your messenger, your everything. And it's
intensive stuff.
Oh, it's insane. So Freedom Chat doesn't do it. I'm going to have all the links, the website, and all of that. So if you're interested, click on the links in the description and sign up, because I see this as not only a really neat, fun, quick way to communicate with people, but it's secure, truly secure, and it's safe. And where can you get that in today's age where you drive to the store and back, you know what? You've been on camera 14 times. While you were in the store, you were probably on camera 10 times. Oh, and by the way, Google knows where you've been and Apple knows where you've been, unless you've shut everything off. Download Freedom Chat, give it a shot. I absolutely love it for what that's worth. I'm just a little small grain of sand on a big beach, but I love it. And it fits so well with Patriot Power. Hey, what do we use for communication? Well, not a phone number anymore.
No, it's perfect. And I appreciate that. That means the world to us, that we know that we're providing value to people, and they love that, something that we've put our heart and soul into.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add? I really appreciate your time. I know you're quite busy, but I'll give you the last word.
I just appreciate you for having me on. And if anybody is interested in Freedom Chat, go to freedomchat.com, subscribe to, just use it. Just take 30 seconds to use it. It's different to speak privately. When you see your encryption keys being generated, you see that if you try to log in on another device, your conversations won't transfer over. It just feels different. You'll speak a little more freely. It's refreshing.
Yeah, I love it. It's and I get, and I could turn it off, but I get notified anytime somebody subscribes or says something. It's kind of like, well, I shouldn't say it's kind of like text, because it's nothing like text, but you get notified if you follow a certain channel. Yeah, and why not have communication the way it's meant to be, which is safe and secure. Hey, I appreciate your time. Again, everything will be linked in the notes and subscriptions, so please check it out. And it's all over my website, patriotpowerpodcast.com. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, Ron.